meteorologist Mark Molnar as your host for the weather show, Weather Northeastern. Let's get right into some viewer-sent-in photos here. Derek Rentschler from Lebanon County, Pennsylvania. This past Saturday on July 18th, take a look. He had some thunderstorms move through, but no rain. Very interesting. But look at the low cloud deck with this thunderstorm that moved through the area. So very ominous, but no rain to say the least. And I've got some bad news. There's going to be a stretch here going into a new heat wave here. We could see no rain here in the parts of the Northeast. Now, some parts of the Northeast will actually see some stronger thunderstorms. Let's get right into the tropics here. Nothing really to report. I do have a little bit of a disturbance here off the Florida coast. It will bring some beneficial rains to Florida, but let's get right into those precipitation totals because not much to talk about in the tropics. As I said, here out west, we'll have ridging start to develop, but it's here in the central portion we get a trough develop in that heat wave in the east that's going to build for the new week. Big ridge taking over with a Bermuda high, and that's going to steer a lot of moisture here into Florida. Look at this, upwards of 5 to as much as 7 inches from Tampa over to Orlando, Tallahassee, Jacksonville, and maybe just as far south as Lake Okeechobee here. So very, very interesting to say the least. And up here in northern New England, you will see a trough that will stall just north of the heat wave, the big high pressure that takes over. Let's take a look at those jet stream pattern. As I said, ridge out west, trough here into the central portion of the United States, and a big ridge developing out east here. Let's take a look at those surface maps, starting with your Sunday here, midpoint of the weekend, or the latter portion of the weekend. Take a look at this heat really starting to build here across Pennsylvania, Ohio, PA Turnpike southward, lower Susquehanna Valley. We're getting well up into the 90s here, lower 90s likely. And then here in northern New England, southern Quebec, Caribou, all the way to Quebec City here. Well, look, we're not getting out of the upper 60s, low 70s here. And then across much of the Great Lakes here, we're holding into the mid to upper 70s near 80. Binghamton, we're managing to get up near 85 to as much as 88, maybe closer to those 90-degree marks down towards Scranton here. And you start to see here, look at this trough starting to take effect across the east coast of the United States here. We've got a front moving in here, trigger mechanism. So we could see some late day strong thunderstorms across the upper Susquehanna Valley of New York into southern New England, maybe as far east as New York City, mainly New Jersey, into the Susquehanna River Valley as well. So Binghamton, Albany, Scranton, Harrisburg, Lancaster, New York City, Hartford, under the gun for some strong thunderstorms heading on into your Thursday. Take a look at this. We start to push a lot of that heavier moisture to the east, mainly Maine into Quebec and New Brunswick. We'll get into some of that rain. But the big story we'll be taking over here is a high pressure. We will see a lot of heat building here. Look at this for your Monday. Temperatures cracking 90, definitely from Binghamton to Jamestown, Bradford, Erie, Pittsburgh, State College, Harrisburg, Cleveland, Toronto, Buffalo, Syracuse, Albany. Look at this, all cracking 90 even into southern New England here. And look at this, Tuesday, we really start to build the heat. We've got still that chance of a shower or thunderstorm here along coastal sections, especially into eastern New England and into eastern Maine and eastern Quebec and New Brunswick. But look at this heat really starting to build. We could be hitting the mid to upper 90s in portions of Harrisburg, Scranton, maybe as far north here as the southern tier of New York, upper Susquehanna River Valley. And look at all of these 90s here spreading their way even as far east as into southern New England here, even cracking 90 in places like Hartford. And Wednesday, we start to get some moisture here from the west with a warm front, as if we need a warm front to push even more warmer air, but this will be our hottest day. Look at this, places like Binghamton doing 95 or better here. Places like Harrisburg could be well up into the upper 90s here from Scranton, and then westward towards Erie and Pittsburgh as well. And we're really starting to get into the heat, especially along the extreme southern sections of New England here. Still holding on to some cooler weather here across northern Maine, upper 60s and lower 70s. So if you want some relief from the heat, it's up to the northeast here, but we will be baking. Even Toronto cracking into the lower 90s likely just north of Lake Ontario and Lake Erie here. So we're really getting into some very summertime readings here across the northeast. I'm going to have a 5-day outlook in 10 seconds for my hometown viewers from Binghamton to Scranton's upper Susquehanna region of upstate New York and northeast Pennsylvania. Don't forget to like me on Facebook at MeteoMark, subscribe to me on YouTube at MeteoMark, comments, Twitter at WX Northeastern, and Google Plus at MeteoMark. Here's your 5-day, stretching all the way from Sunday all the way through about Thursday. Take a look at this. Sunday, we start with our coolest day, near 85. Chance of a late day strong thunderstorm, particularly between 4 and 8 p.m. with that cold front moving in. But it won't be, it'll be a short-lived cold front coming back north as a warm front for your Monday. Look at this. Hazy, hot, and humid both Monday and Tuesday here. Cracking into the lower to mid 90s. Some areas in the Susquehanna River Valley getting upwards of 95, 96. And look at this, Wednesday, our hottest day. We're getting up towards the upper 90s in portions of the Susquehanna River Valley. It's still going to be a hot one on Thursday as we get a chance of a shower or thunderstorm in the afternoon, still cracking 90 degrees. That's going to do it for this edition of Weather Northeastern.